So, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Today, we are going to see what are the models of neuron. We will not, there are many models which are used, like Hodgkin and Huxley model, and um, simple Nernst equation can be used to calculate the resting state potential, etc. So, what we'll do, we will not directly see the model. We will derive the model from a after understanding its basic physics and using some basic physics concepts. Okay, so we'll not jump, we'll understand the concepts first, and then we'll see, we'll derive the model step by step. So let us start. So these are the four basic mathematical tools which are needed to calculate the voltage across the membrane. Maybe resting state potential, or maybe during repolarization, everything. So these are the four basic biophysics tools which are used or which can be used. First tool is a Fick's law for diffusion of charged particle. This is defined as, equation for this Fick's law is J is equals to minus D. D, this is a concentration of the C is an ion, concentration of the ion with respect to the dx, dc by dx. So we'll derive each law one by one. Okay. Second law is Ohm's law for drift of charged particle in electric field. That is defined by J again. J is equals to mu z dV by dx. It is applied to the concentration C. Again, the Einstein relationship, that is D is equals to kT mu by Q, and the space charge neutrality, that is number of cations is equals to number of anions. So we'll derive all these we'll try to derive all these four basic biophysics tool, and then we'll apply this four basic biophysics tool to derive the Nernst equation, and further Boltzmann's equation and Donan equilibrium, etc. So let us start. We will start with the diffusion of uncharged particle in aqueous solution. So this classical membrane theory, whatever the classical membrane theory is, that classical membrane theory is based on two basic processes. First process is nothing but diffusion of particles caused by concentration difference, and second process is drift of ions caused by potential difference. What it means? Diffusion of charged particle across the concentration gradient or the concentration difference. It simply means that uh, if if there is a difference in between concentration, say um, you have a liquid, and that liquid is separated by some permeable membrane, semi-permeable membrane, for a particular ions. Okay, that membrane is permeable to a particular fixed ions, and one side of that membrane concentration is more, and another side of that membrane concentration of a particular ion is become less. So in that case, what happens is, where the ions will move from higher concentration to the lower concentration. This is called as a diffusion. This process is called as a diffusion. The the particle moves from higher concentration to the lower concentration. This is called as a diffusion. So this process is called as a diffusion of particles caused by concentration difference. Okay. Another concept here which is used is a drift of ion caused by potential difference. This process is, there is a drift of ion if a potential difference is applied to the two sides. Say by using some electrodes, if you'll apply a voltage, so because of application of that voltage, ions will move, and that moment is called as a drift. Okay, after applying some potential or potential difference or a voltage, there is a moment of the ion, and that moment it's called as a drift. So these are the basic two theories which are used to find out our first equation which we want to find out. Okay, so to understand this theory, ultimate our aim is we want to derive Fick's first law. Fick's first law is nothing but J is equals to minus D concentration dc by dx. Okay, so we want to derive this Fick's first law. So to derive this, we have taken this example. Okay, so what is here in this example is uh, we want to analyze, we want to mathematically analyze the diffusion of sugar glucose. Why sugar glucose is used here? Because sugar glucose is non-ionic. Okay, it simply and it dissolved in a pure water. So that's why sugar glucose is used here. You can see this graph. This axis shows us concentration of the glucose. Okay, so motion of water molecules. So when you put sugar glucose in a pure water, what will happen is that water molecules are bombarded by the glucose molecules. Okay, or they are imparted by the glucose molecules by collision, right? So the glucose molecules begin to move freely in this they will begin to move freely in this aqueous solution. When you will put glucose molecules, first they will bombard, so water molecules will be imparted, and after that the glucose molecules will start moving inside this water molecule freely in this aqueous solution, in the aqueous medium. So if body of water is stationary, the individual water molecules have no direction of motion. Okay, water molecules will not have any direction of the motion. They are still the way. But as we are putting glucose inside that, they will get some translational velocities. Okay, as the glucose will get distributed. So the velocities that the water molecules impart to the glucose molecules are also distributed equally in all directions. Not only water molecules, but glucose molecules with the water molecules. So they will, once we will put, imagine that you have just put a pinch of the glucose, pinch of the sugar inside glass of the water. Water in the glass is still, and you are just putting a pinch of the sugar inside that water. So what will happen is the water is still first, but once you will put the pinch of the sugar, that sugar will bombard on the water molecules, and then the water molecules along with the sugar molecule will get a translational velocity, and direction is like it is same in all direction. Okay, so therefore the glucose molecule move randomly. So they, whatever the sugar you are putting, so that glucose molecules will move randomly inside uh, in this aqueous medium, in this water. So their velocities are also uniformly distributed. Velocities are also in all directions. We consider that the velocities will also uniformly distributed in all directions. So if the concentration okay, this is the scenario, like we have considered scenario. So in this scenario, in this see, to explain this we are using this figure. Okay, so what we are considering here is glucose concentration is G, right? And this varies, this glucose concentration varies along the x-axis. Okay, yeah, and imagine here, imagine a very thin partition, very thin partition in this solution. So this is very thin. So this thin partition, this partition is perpendicular to the x-axis, or along which the glucose molecules are moving, right? So at the instant of time, a certain number of glucose molecules will be situated at the left edge. Consider that left edge concentration is something. I am saying it as x0. Okay. Dx, consider that the thickness of this imaginary partition, it's a very small, and this thickness is dx. Okay. And the certain number of glucose molecules, I'm not saying a concentration, certain number of glucose molecule at the left hand side is x0. Left hand side of this partition dx is a x0. So the number will be proportional to the glucose concentration at x0. Okay. Because of this uniform velocity distribution, just now I have explained you how the uniform velocity distribution, assumption of the uniform velocity distribution we are using here. So because of their uniform velocity distribution, this approximately half of these molecules will have a velocity component to the right into the partition. So the flow of glucose molecules, therefore, we want to calculate the flow. So the flow of glucose molecule will be proportional to their concentration at x0. Okay. So for electric circuits, how we calculate the current? For electric circuit, we calculate the electric current as rate of flow of electrons. Okay. With unit or rate of flow of electrons, or we call it as a charge per unit time. That is how the electricity is calculated. Electric current is calculated. Similarly, for diffusion also, for diffusion of particle also, we want a similar rate of flow of measure. Okay. So that's why this rate of flow of measure that incorporates time for a molecule, we call it as V. That's why I'm saying it as V is equals to dx by dt. It's nothing but rate of flow of molecules across the partition. So this is what we want to calculate. So the time required for the molecule to cross the partition will be directly proportional to the partition thickness, that is dx. And the rate of flow of molecules V is calculated as dx by dt. So the rate of flow of glucose molecules across the partition from left to right is proportional to, similar to this, the rate of flow of glucose molecules across the partition from left to right is proportional to the concentration of glucose upon dx, or amount, rate of flow. It's like charge upon that unit coulomb, what we say. Similarly, the concentration, glucose concentration upon the thickness. Where this glucose concentration, G concentration at x0 is the concentration of glucose at x0. Okay. So similarly, the rate of flow in other directions, say from right to left, you can say concentration of glucose x0 plus dx upon dx. So the net flow from left to right is given by net flow. Net flow is given by this left minus right. Okay. So if we will simplify this, see this dx0 minus concentration of x0 plus dx. Okay. So this is nothing but a differentiation. So d, it's nothing but dg by dx minus dg by dx, where g is a concentration of glucose. Okay. Right. So here we can say that all glucose molecules are moving randomly, and because there are some molecules on left hand side, there are more molecules on left hand side than the right hand side, then there are some right hand side. So that's why there is a net diffusion of glucose from left to right across the imaginary partition. So the rate of flow is directly proportional to the slope that this glucose molecule to right. So the rate of flow is We are just defining this by a flow, net flow, and this Vg is nothing but a constant of proportionality. We call it as a diffusivity, and where J is a rate of flow of particles, and minus D is a constant of proportionality. As we have taken example of the glucose, we are mentioning it as a Jg, that is a rate of flow for glucose, and Dg, that is a constant of proportionality for glucose. Am I audible to all?
No, ma'am. For some time you are not audible.
No.
Okay. So we'll just repeat. uh, while while I'm explaining this to you, you also please try to write down these things, because this is a physics. Okay, at this point you will understand. While I'm explaining you, you will understand all the concepts, but when you will try to recollect, you may not be able to recollect all the concepts. So if you will write down now itself, it will be easy for you to understand and recollect all the concepts. Okay.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so we want to derive the fixed first law. So to derive this fixed first law, we have taken an example of glucose. Consider that one scenario we have considered uh, of how glucose molecules are mixed when you will put some amount of glucose in a pure water. So what happens? What is the physics? What happens during this phenomena, during this instant? So when you put a pinch of a glucose in a pure water, water is still. Water molecules don't have any velocity, they are still, right? So when you put a pinch of the glucose molecule, while putting it, the glucose molecule will have velocity. They have kinetic energy. So once they bombard on the water molecules, which are still, along with the water molecule, that glucose molecule will also have velocity, and they will have that velocity in all directions. Okay, uniform in all directions. So they will spread uniformly in all directions. So how the spreading happens? Consider that they have a center, and that from that center, at that center, the concentration is most or a maximum, and then the concentration decreases. Concentration of the glucose molecule decreases while they dissolve inside the water, right? So we want to study the scenario. To study the scenario, see here, this along this y-axis, it's nothing but a concentration of the glucose, and along the x-axis, it's nothing but a spread or the thickness or the distance it travels. Okay, so consider that consider a very small partition whose thickness is only dx. Okay, so now left side to this dx concentration will be x0, and right side to this partition concentration will be x0 plus dx, x0 plus dx, that is the concentration to the right side. There is small concentration gradient or the difference, right? So they will have, all molecules will have a velocity, uniform velocity, right? So we want to model that. So that velocity is nothing but dx by dt. Okay, a simple definition is vx is equals to distance upon time, so v is equals to dx by dt. So the time required for the molecule to cross the partition will be proportional to the partition thickness, right? Again, next thing is we want to measure the rate in a similar fashion, in analogous fashion. The rate of flow of glucose molecules crossing across the partition from left to right is, at left side it is x0. So it is from left to right as concentration. Here we have considered that x0 and here dx, x0 plus dx. Okay, so from here to here it is concentration of glucose upon dx. Dx is the thickness. Similarly, from right to left, it is x0 plus dx, concentration of G, x0 plus dx upon d. So the net flow will be net of these two, concentration of G x0 minus concentration of G x0 plus dx upon dx. So now if you will simplify this, how you will get a derivation, a simple derivation? It's nothing but x or x1 minus x0 upon something, which gives you on a next value, or next value minus current value upon your time, that gives you derivation. So similarly, this is nothing but a derivation. If you will simplify this, it becomes rate of change of glucose per unit partition or per unit membrane. So this is the net flow. So simply this net flow rate, or we can, from this net flow we can define a flow rate or equation for the flow rate of flow of particles. That is we have used J as a symbol for a rate of flow of particles. So this rate of flow of particles, Jg, why G is used? Because we are defining this rate of flow of particle for glucose. So it's nothing but minus dg. D is nothing but a constant of proportionality, and this constant is also called as a diffusivity constant. So dg is a diffusivity constant into dg upon dx. So this is the equation for rate of flow of glucose molecules. Okay, so I'll just give you 5 minutes. You please write down all these equations and explanation in between in your own words. If you have any doubt, we can discuss further.